Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is Rebuilding Hockey Town, although I'd say at this point, the town is very much rebuilt. In this episode, it is our round 2 matchup against the Boston Bruins. Before we get into it, let's take a look at what we are up against. Of course, we have them beat in every overall rating, but 95 offense, 94 defense, 91 goaltending. I'll be intrigued to see who their top player is at this point. Well, let's go ahead and take a look, and it is still Eric Simpson. So let's get a full look at this team. And actually, how many games did they play in the first round? I have completely forgotten by this point. 7. All right, so they went to 7 games. So Brad Marchand, still on their top line at 35 years old. 5 points in 7 games. Eric Simpson, their best player, is the top line center. And that line is rounded out by David Pastrnak, only an 88 overall, but a legit first line forward. Maybe he's a little bit better than that, and it could be a morale issue. Second line, Andrei Svechnikov. Well, let's hope he's not as good of a playoff performer as he has been for me in Draft to Glory. His center is Ryan Donato, of course, one of the creative players we added into the game, not actually in the game itself with EA's default roster, and Jake DeBrusk. And again, if you have to ask yourself, how did you get that guy into the game? I created him. I took the time, looked up the stats, and added him myself into the game. Third line, Peter Cehlarik is with Shane Bowers, who had 4 points in the first round, and Zachary Senyshyn. Pretty good third line, honestly. And then the fourth line, Ross Johnston. Now, that's a typical Sweeney player, isn't it? Is with Danton Heinen, who we've seen do some incredible things in previous series, and Dylan Sadawi. Heinen with 2 points. So, a pretty damn good team. I mean, center depth for them is incredible. Obviously, we're better on paper, but I can see why they've made it to the second round. On defense, it was Cal Foote or Nicholas Hague. We went with Nick Hague. I talked about at times potentially getting Cal Foote. Wouldn't have been a bad addition to this team. He is on their top pairing with Charlie McAvoy. Second pairing is Torrey Krug, 33 years old, with Brandon Carlo. And the third pairing, Jakub Zboril, is with Urho Vakanainen. So wow, they ended up with Vakanainen. He was a second-round pick, 44th overall, so he went a little bit higher in real life, but it's funny that the Bruins ended up with Vakanainen. All right, then. The goaltender is Daniel Vladar, an .892 save percentage. So he's a big part of the reason as to why that series went 7. Just abysmal goaltending from them so far, but they're here, and that's what counts. I'm not expecting an easy series. Rob Green and Justin McElrath, their healthy scratches. So on paper, as you would expect with our team, as I was starting to think that the game froze there, as you would expect with our team, we are the heavy favorites. But if Vladar gets his shit together, we could be in for a really tough series. Time will tell. The time to find out's right now. Here we go. Game 1, first period. And all right, well, some of those concerns certainly alleviated early on here. I said alleviated, weirdly. Anyway, Davian and Hronik. 2 goals on 15 shots. Not a bad way to start. Not a bad way to defend home ice. But we still have a long way to go. Second period, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fine. Rasmus Dahlin makes it 3-0 as we start the sim on the third period. You look at the shot difference. We have a power play. You can't give us a 5-on-3. What are you thinking? Rasmus Dahlin makes it 4-0. Eric Simpson ruins the shutout, scoring on Thatcher Demko. It is still 4-1. 3 minutes to go. It is over. 4-1 final in Game 1. No better way to start off the series, aside from maybe a shutout, but Demko, Thatcher Demko, still with 27 saves in that game. Well, alrighty then. Will it be a quick series? Too early to say, after just one game. But that was a fine way to start things. And we're about to find out who Grand Rapids, at least I assume we're about to find out who they're playing, and indeed we will. Who are they going to be playing in round 2? They're playing Rockford. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that. But for the moment, the focus, of course, is with the main team and this series against the Bruins. It is game 2. Let's see what happens first period. And that is unexpected. Wow. Seneshin and Cal Foote give the Bruins the early 2-0 lead here in game 2. Second period. Wow. Demko, what's going on, buddy? Shane Bowers made it 3-0. Haig makes it 3-1. 16 seconds later, Marchand scores. And then McAvoy scores too. Wow. 3 goals in, what, 43 seconds? My math is awful. Yeah, 43 seconds. That's crazy. We're down 5-1. Thatcher Demko gives up 5 goals here in game 2. And you have to wonder if we're going to have a problem here. A lot of power play time for the Bruins. This game's over with. No doubt about it. This game is over with. And I have to admit, I am recording this after a marathon episode of Draft to Glory, so my voice is pretty much just done for. So, if I don't have as much enthusiasm, or, you know, if I'm just off my game a little bit, that would be why. Needless to say, the plan of recording a Nation United after this is out the window. I'm barely going to make it through this episode. We lost game 2 by the score of 6-2. I'll take things I never expected for 1,000, Alex. Holy shit. Demko. Man, if he loses again, you might be seeing Ian Scott sooner rather than later. That is no bueno. No bueno whatsoever. We will start game 3 with the same team, but we need Demko to bounce back. The Bruins get a win on home ice. Certainly not, or, you know, on the road. They get a win on our home ice. Not something I really expected, but it happened. We got to bounce back here. Game 3 in Boston. Let's go. First period is scoreless. Second period is not. Kevin Donaghy gives us the opening goal of this game. Let's go. Third period. Can we get some insurance? Early power play opportunity. But the last game, I should have looked at why they had so much power play time in the third. I forgot to. Doesn't really matter at this point. We lost that game. We might lose this game. Ryan Donato gets another goal. 5.5 minutes to go. Next goal will win this game for their team. And we're going to have to wait until overtime to find out. The Bruins are putting up a fight. Overtime. Don't blink. You might miss it. But place your bets. Who do you think is getting the winner? If you guessed Marcel Desbiens, you win absolutely nothing. But, at the very least, we managed to win Game 3. Daniel Vladar was the first star of the game. Demko, a much better performance. Kevin Donaghy involved in both goals on the fourth line. Both goals coming from the fourth line. Who the hell saw that coming? But we win Game 3, and we have that 2-1 series. The fourth line carried the way in that game. Definitely not what I expected. By the way, right now, it is 1 game apiece between Grand Rapids and Rockford. We won our first game 4-0. Not too bad. But Game 4 is the focus, although it is glitching out and not letting me hit the A button. So that's just great. We'll have to go over here and hit Simulate from this menu, which is fine. Game 4. Will we have ourselves a tied series as we head back to Detroit? Or will we have a commanding 3-0 series lead? First period. And it's a goal apiece. Benoit Giroux and Dylan Sadawi scoring from a terrible angle. We're outshot 13-6, so I guess I'm happy to at least be tied at this point. We still have a long way to go. Second period. I'm starting to lose a bit of faith in Thatcher Demko, guys. Tommy Hagman made a 2-1, and then again, 2 goals in 20 seconds, but 3 goals in 1 minute and 5 seconds. Bowers, Marchand, and Simpson. And we're down 4-2 heading in to the third period. If we lose this game, Ian Scott is starting Game 5. So, for Thatcher Demko's sake, he better hope that we find our offense, and it's not looking like that's going to happen. Under 5 minutes to go, the Bruins have tied this series. Wow. I mean, not that I was expecting a sweep after the first game, but that is a rough way to lose that game. And again, we have ourselves a tied series, and I wasn't joking. I'm going to give Ian Scott the chance. He had some gigantic performances last postseason. Demko isn't doing terribly, but I'm going to give Ian Scott the chance. Now, if we fall down 3-2 in the series, yes, Demko will go back in for Game 6 and Game 7 if we were to force it. But I'm going to place my bets here. I'm going to hedge my bets and say that Ian Scott is going to win Game 5 and give us the 3-2 series lead, because I have faith in Ian Scott, because he is a Stanley Cup champion. First period. And there we go. Good start. Vic Marsh on the board for the first time in the series. 1-0 after 20. Second period. Again, not bad. Tommy Hagman, the only goal of the period. We are being outshot. Ian Scott, though, so far so good. We'll see. The game loves to have the 3-2 comeback win in the third period. We will see if that happens, and it might not. Aaron Ekblad, 55 seconds in. It's 3-0. Another power play for the Bruins. That is killed off as well. 10 minutes to go. 3-0 lead for the Red Wings. I think we're good. Ian Scott. I mean, I love to be right. I think I love that more than winning. I just love to be right. And boy, does it feel good when you're right. 34 save shutout for Ian Scott. Look at that. It wasn't Ian Scott, it was Thatcher Demko. Why is Thatcher Demko in? Did I not put Ian Scott in? I mean, regardless, what happened? Did I not play Ian Scott? Did I not switch him over? Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? The thing is, if I forgot to put Ian Scott in, which I think I did, that is the most embarrassing thing. Did I not put him in? Okay, so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Thatcher Demko, though, got the shutout. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to think that I was going to start Ian Scott to give motivation to Thatcher Demko to get his shit together. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Tougie 2024. I'm running for president. Because if I can lie like that, if I can just look dead, just straight in the eyes of, wow, you fucked up, and just be like, nope, no, I didn't, then damn it, I'd make a hell of a politician. All right, well, Thatcher Demko's between the pipes for Game 6, as he should be. Let's do this. Will the series end here, or will we find ourselves back in Detroit for Game 7? Let's find out. First period. All right, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Nico Hischier and Kevin Donaghy gave us the 2-0 lead. Jake DeBrusk brings them back to within 1. Second period is scoreless, although they outshot us pretty heavily that period. Third period, let's go. Early power play and an early power play goal. Taylor Hall again. This is his last season with us. And damn it, I am determined that he leaves with another ring on his fingers. We are 6.5 minutes away from ending the series and sealing our place in the Eastern Conference Final. And baby, it's going to happen. Kevin Donaghy, what a series against the Bruins. 4-1 final, and the Red Wings are moving on. Despite a bit of a debacle with the goaltending, the Bruins are eliminated in 6 games. We're moving on, as are the Grand Rapids Griffins, disposing of the Rockford Ice Hogs in 5 games. How do you like that? How do you like that? And in the Eastern Conference Final, we will play the New York Islanders. I wonder, do we know who the Griffins are going to play. We do. It'll be the Texas Stars in that Western Conference Final. Syracuse and Toronto going to 7 games. That was an interesting episode, we'll say. Of course, we'll take a look at the Islanders at the start of the next episode. They only won 39 games, though. But top line, Taylor Hall, 6 points so far. Perhaps a bit disappointing. The top line in general, pretty disappointing. But that's the thing. Rather than viewing it as, oh, they're struggling, I choose to view it as, imagine what happens when that top line wakes up. The Islanders will get stomped and will cruise our way to the Cup final. Tommy Hagman had a really good round against the Bruins, as did Pascal. That second line might as well be our top line at the moment. Joel David and the third line in general, they still haven't done a whole hell of a lot. But the fourth line, Kevin Donaghy, Marcel Desbiens, and Robert Thomas, not doing as well. But things are looking pretty damn good. On defense, Philip Hronik with 6 points, 4 for Ekblad, 5 for Haig, and 4 goals for Rasmus Dahlin. Gary McCann, still really struggling. I decided to keep him in, which is why I didn't really say much at the beginning of the series. But again, that's the thing. Like, I want to call up Perron because McCann really isn't getting the job done. But we're still winning. So again, it's like, all right, well, do I switch him out or not? That's the really tough thing. Yeah, I didn't switch him out for this series, but I think it might be worth calling up Perron. How's he doing for the team? Yeah, he's a +5 with 1 goal. It could really screw up, like really screw up what they're doing by getting rid of Perron. And again, Gary McCann would be sent back down to junior, as he's still 19. But I don't know. Again, I decided to leave him in. Let me know what you think, though. Same question as the last episode. Do we send McCann back to junior and call up Brent Perron? Do we wait until we're down by, say, 2 games? If that were to happen, if we were to find ourselves in a 2-0 deficit, a 3-1 deficit, do we call up Brent Perron at that point? Because at least for the Griffins, you can factor, Ralston, Eklund, they have decent players that can jump up, but James Reimer wants to win a cup before he retires. I should note, too, with the goaltending, egg on my face for that one. Badger Demko, a .933 save percentage. Man, Ian Scott, I still have faith in you, buddy. But that is going to be one of the more infamous moments on my channel, I am quite sure. I don't think I'm ever going to live that down. Unfortunately, I want to make sure we move on to the next round as we should, so I'm not going to re-record this to avoid such an embarrassing moment, and aside from the fact that my voice is not going to hold up for that much longer. So with that said, guys, that will do it for this one. I hope you did enjoy. In the next round, we take on the New York Islanders. One of us will go on to play either Calgary or Nashville in the Stanley Cup Final, and we will find out who that will be. So again, if you enjoyed, feel free to hit that like button to help support me and the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already to never miss a video. You can also join the notification squad to ensure that. And follow me on Twitter at Tukey24. Not only for the notifications of an upload, but for other random stuff, giveaways down the line, and for alerts as to when I'm live on Twitch. That's a thing now. It's going to be a thing now. Guys, again, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next episode of Rebuilding Hockey Town.